Right, so, real talk. Having MCAS sucks.
Tasha, coach.
So Mast Cell Activation Syndrome is a condition that affects your cells that are called mast cells, which are part of your immune system and aid in wound healing. So, for example, if you get stung by a nettle, you get a raised itchy bump. That's histamine, which is released from your mast cells. In my body, my cells are hypersensitive, so they release an excess of these chemicals at the slightest trigger, for example, food or exercise or heat or being stung, and sometimes they release chemicals when there's no trigger. And if they release enough of these chemicals, they can send me into anaphylactic shock, which can be potentially life-threatening, which is why I carry an EpiPen. So it's not so much that I'm allergic to everything around me, it's that my body responds inappropriately to the environment. I guess when you think about my condition and how it affects me in my life, you could say that I'm the girl that's allergic to herself, because my body reacts so inappropriately to the world around me that I'm basically just having a big allergic reaction to myself and my own body. After British Championships in October, I took a week off just to recover and let a few niggly injuries rest and heal, and then started getting back into training, working new skills.
And then in New Year's Eve, we ended up in resus and then intensive care for the week, because she just kept having reactions that could be sorted. Everything calmed down, then it'd go on again, and then again and again, and just couldn't seem to stop the reactions.
And that was really, really difficult because I couldn't even point my toes. I remember sitting in a hospital chair and I was really excited because it was my second day being able to get into the chair in a row and pointing and flexing my feet, and my feet were just juddering because they just couldn't manage to even point my toes. And I'm thinking, got British Championships in March, this is not going to happen. Like, being realistic, physically I'm beat, and my body just had no muscle. There's no way I could do it.
So Christmas and New Year have been pretty rough, probably the roughest we've ever had.
So in December, I hadn't trained for 2 months. In January, I hadn't trained for 3 months. End of January, I went back to training and couldn't really do much. I mean, just getting up on the beam and standing up, my legs were shaking. Jumping off the beam, my legs gave way underneath me because I didn't have the strength to hold myself up.
When she's off into the hospital again, and then the next day she's back in training, like, all right, like nothing happened. I think no one else can do that or will do that. But I think it's a bit of escape sometimes as well.
I have 22 British titles currently and 30-something British medals. I've not actually counted.
We met at her first British Championships in Lilleshall, and since then we literally clicked and we've been friends online and then friends in real life since then, getting a closer and closer friendship the more we get to know each other.
I see approximately nothing, so I'm too short.
Tasha has my trophy. She'll disagree with me on this every single time, but on the silver trophy it's got all of my British Championships titles, so my name's on there 4 times as the British all-around champion, and until recently Tasha's name was only on there 3 times. So technically it was my trophy and she was just babysitting. She's now rounded me up and she's got her name on there 4 times, so there's a bit of a joint custody battle for this trophy.
I'm very competitive.
We'd get out the car and I'd run to the front door and be like, I won, and Dad's like, what?
But I'd say I'm most competitive with myself. I was actually very shy as a child, if you'll believe it.
Not often playing with friends. She was she did play with friends, but she was a bit more of a loner than that.
I was a bit of a nerd. I liked school, and studying and learning new things was really exciting. And I was very goal orientated, so I'd set myself a goal and I was going to achieve that goal.
She enjoyed being active. I think that was it. And when she started gymnastics, she just enjoyed bouncing around.
She did rhythmic gymnastics, that's how she started it, at about 7 or 8 at a local leisure centre.
All the ribbons and like really bendy, I could fold myself in 3.
She was older than quite a lot, and she was extremely bendy.
I wasn't naturally talented. I was, at best, you know, a good club competitor, not even regional. The switch to disability was more, I wasn't able to keep up with mainstream anymore, and I still wanted to compete. So the fact that I'm sat here now with all the British titles things doesn't quite feel real from this little girl that first walked into the gym just because she'd forgotten her mum had signed her up for it. The 27th of May 2013 was my first life-threatening allergic reaction, came completely out of the blue.
She was in Morrison's with some friends, and she just went, well, we now know she went into anaphylactic shock.
Got a police escort via ambulance to hospital. I was really quite unwell.
They couldn't explain what it was. They thought it might have been something she'd been near, she'd walked past at the time, something she'd eaten, and they said it may never happen again.
And then 2 days later it happened again, and I think in the first 2 weeks it happened 8 separate times. You know, I was cutting out everything, and I was down to broccoli, potato and chicken for 6 months, lost loads of weight, was really unwell, and was still having reactions. That was when I ended up with a diagnosis. I'm actually one of the lucky ones when it comes to rare disease. It took me 2.5 years to get diagnosed, when most people it's 7 years.
There are a number of other conditions that are in some ways linked to mast cell, and she's been getting diagnoses from on those as well. The flexibility is down to Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, and that's hyperflexibility in not just joints, but the organs themselves. For a gymnast it's great, but she's over flexible in some cases. She's having a reaction in hospital, and she has a seizure, and next thing you know her shoulders popped out, which she then puts back in.
Ace is my medical alert dog from the charity Medical Detection Dogs. He's a 2.5-year-old yellow Labrador, and he's my hero. He's absolutely brilliant. He goes everywhere with me, and he's scent trained specifically for me to give me 3 to 5 minutes warning of a reaction. And it's honestly been the most helpful thing, because before that I was having to set my alarm every 4 hours in the night to take medication. I competed at the Disability British Championships in October, where I qualified for 3 pieces in the finals. It's quite a different range, so floor is completely different to doing bars, and beam is very different to every other piece, so it's going to be quite challenging to get all my skills back ready for competition.
I think I coached her for 4 or 5 months, and then she became British champion, and it was really something. And I think big achievement as well was like when we went to Echo Arena later, that she just finished the whole competition, fainted 2 or 3 times, and then she just lays on the floor, and then it's like, all right, wake up, and then you need to do your routine.
Bars I don't get very nervous for, but he's very demanding on the upper body and is really quite hard for me.
When she exercises, she loses feeling from the elbows down and from the knees down.
So when I'm catching the high bar, for example, I can't feel if I caught it with my hands, only the drag down through my shoulders if I've caught it.
And on beam, like the beam is like 10 centimeters wide. So you need to feel where you put your feet, and it's quite important. And she doesn't feel that. So quite a challenge to find ways to get her to learn new skills and stuff.
I find learning new skills a lot harder than everybody else, because I can't feel when I'm in a certain part of a skill. I only kind of know from repetition and kind of learning through mistakes. There's girls on floors that have a full twist at the very end of their routine. For me to have a full twist in my routine would be a miracle, let alone at the end of my floor routine. But if I can go out there and do the routine the best I can, if I can lift into my somersaults, or, you know, not break my leg when landing forward somersaults and things like that, those are things I want to do. I want to go and I want to beat myself. Today wasn't the greatest training session, but considering how unwell I felt when I woke up this morning, I was in a lot of pain with my joints. I felt very sick and my blood pressure was low, so I was quite dizzy and out of breath, which definitely showed in the gym. I'll take it. I think I've kind of learned that you've got to make the most of what you can do that day, because I used to like sit and stress that I hadn't done enough or it wasn't good enough, but I've kind of taken into consideration now what my body can and can't do, and trying to just make little steps every day as long as I'm continually moving forward, because I could have just not shown up today, not done anything. So, you know, mistakes are proof that you're trying, so I must be trying really hard. Now I'm going to go home, take my leotard off and put my pyjamas on and I'm done for the day, because I have nothing left, because if I want to have fun at my party tomorrow, I need to make sure I rest so I can enjoy it. How do I feel about being 24? I think I already feel about 90 in my body, so I don't know, I used to hate getting older, but now I've realised that aging is a gift that's denied to so many. I think the unpredictability of my condition affects everything, because I can't hold down a job, because I can't say, for example, 9 till 5 every Tuesday, I'll be well enough. Even volunteering, it's that commitment, and it's not that I'm unreliable, it's that my health's unreliable, and that's really hard for others to understand, and it's frustrating for me too, because there's things I want to go, events on at specific times, and quite often I can't go because I'm not well enough, even if I've been looking forward to it for like a year. And it's really, really frustrating to manage and knowing how far you can push it, because sometimes I push it too far and end up in hospital, but the opposite of that would be not doing anything and never pushing myself, and then I'd just be sat in my bed not achieving and not doing anything, and probably still having reactions. So I'd rather be doing something if I'm going to react. At least it's productive then.
Smallest of things, any random thing could send her into anaphylactic shock, whether it's the change of weather, whether she's around different scents, or she could cry, just anything. Her body just sort of reacts.
Very often if I have an anaphylactic reaction, the procedure is to administer the adrenaline. It's only a small dose of adrenaline, but she did see a cardiologist a couple of years ago, and if she was to carry on having the adrenaline over the next few years, her heart would only have another 8 years to go. Then she knows that.
It's one of those things she has to live with, but we have to be aware of. I know we live with it as well, but not to the same extent as Tasha.
I think it's harder for my dad to deal with things because he's away with work a lot.
I sometimes feel I'm not there for her.
He almost gets a bit of a holiday from it in that respect, whereas with me and Mum, it's constantly there, sorting medications, going to appointments, it's always in the back of our minds. I like knowing that, you know, he's got to go off and like think about his work or do all the things. I don't want his life to stop. If he does feel guilty, and I'd feel bad because I don't want him to, but I could also understand why. And
is there an element of guilt attached to how you feel?
Yes, I think there is. Sorry.
last year I was in hospital. I was in resus as it turned to my birthday, which wasn't so fun. The nurses all wished me happy birthday and the doctors, which was very sweet, but it's not quite the same. And they'd been really ill and thrown up at everything I ate for weeks, but I was determined to have birthday cake. And I had birthday cake. I mean, I threw it back up, but I still had birthday cake. List as many things I can think of that I'm allergic to. I generally don't think there's enough battery life in your camera for that. Perfumes, smoke, aerosols, deodorants, bath products, changing pressure in the weather, rainwater on my skin, sunlight, heat, cold, emotions, change of environment, most raw foods, some meats, defibrillator pads, alcohol, most useful painkillers, tomatoes, exercise, life.
I get the same birthday cake every year. It's a caterpillar cake because I seem to be okay with it. So we stick with what we know. It's like being 7 again, having a caterpillar cake for your birthday. Oh, they've got a girl one. So I always get that one. I always get Clyde the caterpillar because it's something I'm okay with, but if it's the same ingredient, I could get the girl one. I've never had a choice. It's okay because it's the same ingredients. And I'm very excited to have a different cake, even though it's the same cake, but it's different. Hey, Theo. Good boy.
The best thing about having Mast Cell Activation Syndrome is finding out who your true friends are. Because there's a lot of people when I first got ill that I thought were really good friends of mine and weren't there to support me and judged me and said horrible things, whereas now I can say all the people in my life that I'm close with are true friends, and I think I'm very lucky because I think very few people actually can say that.
She's great at dancing. She loves a boogie. There's several videos when I had a Halloween party. We spent an hour in the living room, like lip-syncing to the randomest songs.
So my party just finished and I made it through with no reactions and had a really good time with friends, making memories and just having a laugh and just doing normal 24-year-old things, just hanging out with friends. They had a couple of drinks, I stuck to water obviously, played silly party games, just laughed, and it was an amazing day. Here's to 24. I really don't feel very well. Yeah, currently on the lounge floor, feeling rather yuck. Probably explain it as my face is on fire but my body's cold. You've eaten 3-day-old takeout and spun in a circle 10 times. I think the worst is over. My throat's killing me in my chest, but my temperature's finally come down. I'm still warm, but I'm not dangerously hot. Baby steps. And then I lost consciousness or something, I don't know. I feel very unwell and find it very hard to cope with feeling so unwell. And I know that this is my life. Yeah, that's it really.
You know, like people want their children to be successful or super brainy or anything, but really the only important things are your health and happiness, and when you as a parent can't do anything about that, that is tough.
Turns out I have a viral infection, which is rough and miserable for any normal person. But because my mast cells suck, they caused a huge inflammation response, which would mimic the symptoms and markers of sepsis. So, yay for not having sepsis. Boo for catching germs.
Feels like everything's trying to set me back and I'm like, come on, I can do this, I can do this. And my body's like, no. So I just want to get to Liverpool and compete. Even if it's just one piece, I just want to compete and say, you know, I picked myself up from absolutely nothing and got myself to Liverpool to compete. That'll be really good.
What she can achieve, I hope we get some medals. March is a hard one because it's not only her category, like you have 2 different categories in people with like learning disabilities and that kind of stuff, or like physical disabilities. And in March they put those 2 together, juniors, seniors, everything. So she's competing against like 10, 11-year-olds as well with learning disabilities, and they can do like a little bit more than Tasha can.
One of my biggest inspirations in the world of gymnastics is Kelly Sim, because I feel like she was kind of always in the background coming up the ranks, and now she's flourishing and kind of proving everybody wrong and showing everyone how amazing she is. And she's just a really lovely, genuine person as well. She doesn't get involved with any drama, and she's just a lovely individual and deserves to do well and works hard behind the scenes and just comes out and shows everybody what she's been working on and like how good she is. And I think that's what I like about her. She's very down to earth and just gets the job done.
Last year I was the British all-around champion, so that was massive for me. That was the first time I'd been, British champion, so that was incredible. And I've been to 2 Commonwealth Games, and I've got a gold, silver and a bronze medal from them, and 3 World Championships and 1 Europeans. So training is so important. You couldn't do those routines without, the hours of training, I don't think. And even if you had a holiday and if you have a few days off, God, it's so hard to get back into it, and it takes, so much time to even get back to where you were before. So I'm one of them gymnasts who needs so many repetitions just to feel confident, and it helps me to do more and more numbers than a lot of other people just to get that confidence up. And we do so much training, so if you're not recovering properly, you're not going to be able to be at your best for the next day and things like that. I think it's so important that gymnastics includes disability. It's such an inclusive sport, it would seem silly, not to kind of include that. I think Tasha's a massive inspiration to a lot of people because of the things she's achieved, and because then you see her, at the British and winning all these medals a few weeks later is mad. So yeah, it's really definitely inspiring for me and a lot of the other girls here.
I just want to stay on for a cartwheel on beam. It's not too much to ask from the gym gods. I've completely missed the beam, I've caught my leg on the beam, I've split the beam, I've done every single version, but I know I can do it.
But if you can't feel the beam, it's like, how are we going to do it? But it's just in here, over and over and over again, and then your body eventually knows what to do, muscle memory.
I'm not as prepared as I normally am. Normally, I'm at the stage now I would have liked to have been like a month ago.
I first got in touch with Tasha when she was getting ready to start on the disability gymnastics circuit with the competitions. And I think it was Instagram where I noticed her hashtag disability gymnast that I kind of went, who's that?
They say you should be wary of people on the internet, but...
She talked about Taylor.
I communicate a lot online, and I came across a girl called Taylor, and she was just like me. She had an amazing personality, really bubbly, really funny, always cracking jokes, and we could literally talk about anything. We had a poo emoji joke for years, and we'd video chat, and I got to know like her friends and her family. I think I lived in her house digitally and she lived in mine. We talked every day and would send each other like care parcels, and she was just like my sister. And there was a group of us that became really good friends, and they were all in America, and then there was me, and we used to mock each other about our accents or the way they pronounce things and the differences. It was really funny. And then Taylor got incredibly unwell from the complications of Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, and unfortunately passed away. I'm not going to cry. And I think it's hard because not only did I lose a friend, but I think for all the girls that we had our little group chat, we obviously have the same conditions, so we kind of felt the impact of what will happen to our friends and family if something happens to us. If it was consistent, I think it'd be a lot easier to manage and a lot easier to train with, because I could go in and say exactly what day, how much I can do, how much I can manage. Whereas some days I can go in and literally just lie on the floor most of the time, do a bit of stretching and then go home. I think if I'm to come close to a medal or win a medal, my best shot is probably floor, because I have that performance element, and even though I don't have the difficulty, my execution is quite high. My floor routine for this season is incredibly special to me because it's the background music to a song which is very close to my heart. So 2 years ago nearly, my best friend passed away from the same condition I have, and one of the songs that she listened to as she was in hospital and was sang at her funeral was a song called Thy Will, and I've used that music as my floor music. So every time I perform it, I've got a little bit of Taylor spirit to keep me going, get through it. So I've got that emotional connection, and I hope that when I perform that in Liverpool that the audience and the judges can feel that. I'd love to be able to cure myself, click on my fingers and go back to my initial goals. I think I've always grown up wanting to help people. So I initially wanted to be a doctor, then a nurse, and then it ended up being a paramedic, and that sat pretty stale with me. And so I think that's why now I'm so open about speaking about things, because I know it helps others. So if I can't be there to physically hold their hand and help them through it, I'd like to be able to do that through my social media or talking about it. For example, when it was the Pride of Sport Awards in 2015 and I won, I was so prepared that I hadn't won. I had no speech and I had a mouthful of salmon when they announced me, because I was so convinced and I was enjoying eating something that I could have that was safe.
In the last 10 weeks, I've suffered 47 anaphylactic reactions. I stopped breathing twice, and as you probably noticed, I lost all my hair. So winning this award really motivates me. I've already got plans to return to gymnastics, and I'm also planning to compete at apparatus finals in April next year. So if you take anything away from the night, please just be aware of how amazing it is that we're able to physically get up and take part in sport.
And I got a standing ovation. It was amazing. I said that, thanked everyone, walked off the stage, and there was a lady that helped you up the stairs, or the ramp in my case, and she said, "Natasha, turn around," and I turned around and the whole room was on their feet clapping, and it was just, yeah, it's a moment I'll remember forever.
such a disaster recently because I didn't know I could do it. Like, I like to go to comp even if I don't have a good session before. You know, and I can do the skills, whereas bars, we all know I can do the skills, so I finally got it and I know I can do it. And if I do that at a competition, even if I come last, I'll be really happy, really, really pleased.
We're going to go in with no expectations tomorrow, but I think if she performs like her bar routine today, there is a chance, I think, that we can get a medal. We don't have all the bonuses, but if she does a clean routine, then yeah, maybe a medal.
I think at the moment I'm just excited to compete. I'm trying not to overthink it too much, and I can't wait to walk out in my leotard and just enjoy it and just stay on for my cartwheel. It is Saturday morning. We are heading up to Liverpool, ready for podium training this evening and competition tomorrow. I can't believe it's actually tomorrow. Like, I'm so close. I just need to stay calm, stay well.
I'm travelling up to the arena with my friend and coach Stacey, and we'll meet my coach Fred up there, ready for podium training on the Saturday evening. Podium training is basically just where we train on the equipment in the competition arena that's on a podium, and it allows us to kind of get a feel for the equipment and get a decent warm-up and get accustomed to performing there, ready for competition the next day, because we only have like a 30-second touch on competition day, so it's really good that we have that time.
Anything could happen any day to Tasha.
I'm always allergic to some triggers, so those are things I avoid 100% of the time. But things like pineapple, sometimes I can eat and I'm absolutely fine, and other times it causes a reaction. So I kind of just have to go with how my body's feeling that day, because some days I feel I can risk it and it'll be okay, and other days I can tell that my body's too sensitive and it just won't end well.
Perfume in here quite a lot.
Yeah, just stay relaxed and just keep flickering. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think he's goofing around now.
Yeah, goofing is post alert. I love goofing.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm fine, thank you. We're gonna go watch. Ace is alerting, so I'm just keeping an eye on Ace and on Tasha at the same time, just to see if the alert is going to progress and whether she can take any more medication or whether she needs to. Yeah, she's having an allergic reaction. Can we just go and lie down in the back there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Even in the really deep, dark moments where we're not really sure what's going on or she's feeling really poorly, we still manage to crack jokes. She just keeps going, no matter what is chucked her way. She just keeps going. I think it is really inspiring. Who used to have this? Yeah. Got it
now. For me, I feel that podium training is incredibly beneficial because in the gym, I'm very familiar with the equipment around me and how it works and what the textures are like and what to expect when I put force into the equipment. Whereas when we go to competition, the equipment can feel very different. If there's been different gymnasts on before me, the beam, for example, might be chalkier or the bars might be slippier or bouncier. The floor's quite often bouncier at competitions than our club floor, so it's very difficult for me to adapt. There's no real way for me to differentiate the textures in the gym, so it's kind of as if everything was white. If you refer to it in colour terms, everything is white and it's all the same, it's just different shapes. So it's kind of learning what I need to do with my body to change it from white to colour. So it's not so much the equipment that I adapt, it's more how I use it.
There we go. We'll leave it with that one.
I think anything I do now isn't going to change the outcome of tomorrow.
No. Went really well. Like, full bar routine done, so that's always good. Beam, stuck everything. Floor, need to get used to it's really bouncier than our own floor, so we need to get used to that a little bit, but tumbles are way better, so optimistic for tomorrow.
I made it here. One more sleep.
The nerves aren't there yet. Normally I'm even nervous now, so if I stay like this the whole time it'd be great, but I think nerves might kick in a little bit later, especially when I walk out and everybody's watching. But feeling okay. A couple of niggly pains, but hopefully just stretch those out and stay in one piece.
It's a bit slow going this morning, but she's eating plenty, which is good. She's quite perky in herself. She seems fairly happy.
Walking out into a big arena is exciting and amazing and petrifying. Every moment he's just trying to take in everything to experience it, but also trying to focus because you've got a job to do, and knowing that all your hard work comes down to this one moment. There's a lot of pressure, but then you want to enjoy it, and it's just, there's just so much and it's so overwhelming. And I know I can stick a cartwheel now. I've been falling off for years and it's been so hard to get, and I know I can do it, and I just want to land it. If I fall off on every skill apart from that cartwheel, I don't care. I just want to stay on for that one skill. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. I'll be a bit disappointed. I've done it in training, I've stuck it in training beautifully, I've stuck it with a bit of a wobble. I just need to do it on the day.
That was Harley's man from Manchester finishing off.
Say stupid carpet.
Stupid carpet.
I know.
I think she's probably a little disappointed in the scores, but it's difficult because you can't really dwell on the piece before when you've got to go straight into the next piece. So kind of reassess and then get ready for the next piece.
There we go. Told you.
Couldn't have done any better.
No, it's good.
It's Annie Young.
I think if I'm to come close to a medal or win a medal, my best shot is probably floor because I have that performance element.
please.
Representing Geary Gymnastics Club is Podium Slater.
Moving over to the Women's Disability Floor Masters. See the results there in our bronze medal position. 10.6 went to Abby McNamara from Tameside. Saffron Harrison from Penryn Gymnastics Centre. Silver medal, lots of fans in for her, 10.85. And Oriane Slater from Geary Gymnastics Club is our new champion.
So close to getting a medal on the floor, but it just kind of pushes me to work harder and improve things. Made it through each piece. Really, really happy with bars, considering that's been such a disaster recently. Who would have thought I'd pull that out of the bag on the day? So yeah, no medals, which I kind of expected, but brilliant experience. And I actually made it.